All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Friday night, March 2nd, 2018 video hangout with Stunthangar. And I'm Rusty, as usual. And just got a message from Minnesota Mike. He's not going to be with us tonight. He's got pneumonia. Sorry about that, Mike. But hope maybe you can kick back and watch us on YouTube. And we do have the YouTube chat box working. At least I hope we do. As soon as somebody posts, we'll see them. I don't have any viewers yet, so the only people that are going to see this are on reruns right now. But while we wait for people to come in, you know, as usual, the links are posted in the At the Bench thread, which is a private member-only thread on the Stunthangar control line forums. And you can get the link to either the YouTube site or this video site, where we can all talk to each other face to face. And so I hope people start showing up in a minute. Meanwhile, I have been getting out to the shop a little bit and putting more than just a tiny bit of work on the Cardinal. I actually accomplished enough to where it's starting to look like a airplane fuselage anyway. And I got 2 viewers now. If y'all will post something on the chat box and let me know if it's working or not. If you're on a video phone, hold it vertically and see if you can see some drop down arrows or scroll to be able to get to the chat box. And on Monday night we had it working swimmingly. So let's see who we got here. We got our first video visitor. Oh, that's Sparky, I think. It says Stunt, so guess that's Sparky. Yeah, I had a little feedback at first there.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Hey, Sparky. Good evening.
What's going on?
Not much. I was just doing the intro. And okay, so now everybody, I've told you where the links are, and we got a couple of viewers going on. If you post something in the chat box and let me know if it's working, then we'll commence to talking aeromodeling. And it looks like Sparky's got something to show right now, so I'm going to click on him. And that's another voodoo.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, how long you been working on that? Looks like you just got it probably framed up today, didn't you?
No, I started it last Friday. I didn't work on it this week. I'm just too beat after work. Tonight I don't have to worry about getting up in the morning, so.
Well, looks like you're in Missouri, is that right? Or are you in your work table in Dayton?
I'm in Ohio.
It's beginning to look more like a workshop, at least. Yeah. I guess you need to buy 2 sets of everything so you don't have to haul them back and forth.
Oh, yeah, I got stuff at home.
That was my main problem for a long time is I'd go out to the field with my planes and I'd need to raid my shop for tools that I might need at the field, and so back and forth to their places, and finally got pretty much a duplicate of everything. And so now I can just pick up my flight box and my kit bag and go on out to the field without having to steal stuff from the shop.
This place here is not big enough to really get anything done quickly. I just have a small workbench. It's probably 24 or maybe 26 by 40.
Yeah. Or maybe 30 by 42. I think that's a standard size in a lot of materials. But so it looks like you got a glass on top of it. That's good anyway.
Yeah, it's a piece of 1/2-inch glass.
A 1/2 inch is good. You don't have to shim it up so much. I got a 3/8, and I still have to shim underneath it to keep it from sagging on the curve of the table, because that table took a lot of abuse work with hot rod engines and stuff sitting on top of it back in the day. That's what it was originally built for. You don't have to have a flat table to work on a hot rod engine. But we ended up having a really good show the other night. The chat box worked great, and we a couple of times had to put members in a holding pattern over on YouTube to wait till somebody checked out of the video feed so that we could get them in. We had a maximum of 10 for a long time. So that's a record. We've never maxed out before last night. We've come close with 9, but maxed out on not last night, but Monday night. So that's good. Looks like people are finding us just fine. And it just has to be somebody that can be a member of Stunthangar so they can get to the at the bench thread.
Fine.
I got out to the shop last night and finally got some significant work done on the Cardinal fuselage, and it's almost ready to be sanded and painted. And it looks like it. It always turns out to be more than what I think it's going to be, but I hope given another few days out in the shop, an hour or two at a time, I can get it silk spanned and put some paint on it. Better do it during the first of the pay cycle, because if I sit around and wait too long, I won't have any money to buy paint and dope with.
Well, you need to go Tom Creasy's route, 36 cents.
I'm not ready to graduate up to that yet. I'm still doing the $5 and $6 rattle cans of Duplicolor lacquer from the car store and Brodak dope. I might end up trying some new products just because the colors I need might not be available in my usual stuff. I want chrome. I got monocoat chrome for the wings, but I want some chrome paint to do some decorative decals out on the fuselage too. And
this stuff is kind of pricey, but have you watched the YouTube video brush on chrome?
No, I haven't. Is that your video?
No, I wish. When you get off of here, write it down. The video is called Brush on Chrome.
I definitely will, because I need any advice I can get on that. I've never used much metallic paint before.
This brush on chrome will blow your mind.
Oh, great. That's what I want.
It really looks like chrome.
Good, good. That's what I want, realistic, because the monocoat chrome looks pretty good. It's got a mirror finish, and I want the paint to match that. Brush on chrome. I'm writing it down. Okay, got it etched in stone on a notepad. How's your week at work? You get anything cool built?
No, I'm just building truck body bulkheads.
Not doing the special access stuff right now with the chairlifts and that kind of thing.
No, that business is kind of falling off for some reason.
Maybe summertime will bring it back, because people will want to be going out to the lake or the beach and have more use for getting in their van without trudging through the snow. And most of those people might stay indoors in the worst of the winter. I got a question for you. The blueprints on the Cardinal suggest for the inboard cheek cowl to use 2 1/4-inch slabs and laminate them together. And that's what I would have done otherwise, except that the box contained a slab that was just one solid sheet of lightweight balsa. But I went ahead and cut the pattern out of that, but I hadn't glued it, so I'm not committed yet. And if you think it would be a huge difference in stiffness if I take a couple of 1/4-inch pieces and laminate them with maybe some fiberglass in between, or do you think going with that solid sheet will be adequate? It's not a shaker engine. It's going to be a LA, so that's one consideration, I think.
With me, I just use a 1/2-inch piece of wood.
Okay. What about fiberglass in between it and the fuselage? Do you think that adds any kind of strength?
Nope. No
Really?
need.
Okay.
Nah.
That'll simplify things for me.
I'm modifying things here. Adding an extra rib.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. Just one, or are you going to go all the way down?
Nope, just one.
Oh,
Because
that going to be around where the tank's going to be?
yeah,
Oh, no, I see the tank. Okay. I
the,
think I see the tank. No,
the
that's
bladder,
just a
the
crank mount.
bladder goes right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the way the way that the pod goes, you have to have it, you know, there's going to be a hole here, so you got to have something to attach it
Oh,
to.
something to attach it to. Yeah.
So what do I know? Let's see, I gotta double that, so gotta measure. We want our planking. It's 3¼ God, I can't see those little lines.
I went down to Lowe's and for about 20 bucks each, I got some flat panel LEDs and put them on I got a couple of, I got an IV pole actually. I mounted 2 of them on that I can swivel in different directions, and they really throw some light.
6.
And I can, as I have the same problem, I put the ruler out in front of me and I can't read the 16th inch lines. But throwing those bright, bluish bright LEDs on it really makes them stand out. And Gerald Wimmer's joining us.
Yeah, he sent me a message about leading edge. SIG is the only place I know to get it.
Yeah, I've gotten some from SIG before. Hey, Gerald, how you doing?
Oh, hi, Matt. Thank you. Hi, Rusty.
You're
Did you hear that, Gerald?
No, it's just coming in still.
your audio's not sounding too good on my end, but give it a minute and see how she does.
Sorry, you're saying Sparky?
That makes a big difference.
You can get the leading edge stuff from SIG. The place that I got these leading edges doesn't have anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Terry said for the center fuselage section, try and laminate as well. That'd probably be better because he said it's very hard to get the 1/2 inch and rock hard balsa like you used to be able to. The old triple grade, really rock hard balsa that was available around here is dried up too. But does Brodeck do any balsa? Or have anybody had any experience with getting balsa through Brodeck?
Brodak buys balsa wood to make his kits, and he doesn't really sell balsa wood. When I go to Brodak's, I raid his balsa wood, but
Midwest is where I've usually buy balsa, but I don't know if they've got the lead edge stock or not.
Yeah.
I buy balsa wood from Stunthangar Hobby.
I have bought it from Stunthangar Hobby before too.
Is it Tim Westcott? I'm not sure. That runs Stunthangar Hobby. It's another well-known stunt flyer that does Stunthangar Hobby, isn't it?
Tom Morris, yeah.
Morris,
yeah.
Yeah, I've been sending stuff to Portland and to U-Shop, which is a a subsidiary of our local New Zealand Post, and I can get some stuff through Portland, and I've been getting other stuff through New Hampshire through an outfit there called Stackery, and that's worked quite well for me. And I've been able to get in supplies recently at a good rate. It's been quite good. So I'll try getting some balsa through either of those as well. The shipping
You get reasonable shipping charges from there.
Yeah, sometimes it works out quite well. Like a kit, for instance, that yak that I got recently, that Sterling yak kit, the Yak 9 kit. I probably paid about $50 in shipping, $50 in shipping to have it shipped all the way out to New Zealand, which wasn't bad. I was quite happy with that. But in the past, I've often paid up to 100 or like 70 US for shipping of a kit.
Wow.
So yeah, some of it's good, some of it's not so good. But I've had to ship parts like recently. I had to get a tractor starter motor, and it was going to be a $600 NZ, which would probably be about $450 US for a starter motor for an old Same tractor that we've got. And I managed to get it landed for half the price, basically, from America. I got it shipped free to Portland, and then shipped from Portland to where we are in Auckland, and that worked quite well. I was quite happy with that. I saved myself about $300 if I bought it locally. But
that still sounds like a lot, but I guess when you go overseas, and you just gotta consider that. So it's expensive to do no matter what.
Yeah, generally, if it's something like a kit, or in that case a starter motor, you spend about the same amount on the kit as you do on the shipping. The rule of thumb I've sort of come to find over the years, you pay a similar price for the item as you do for the shipping. But it's the same. A lot of people like to import their American cars into New Zealand. They might pick up the car for $10,000 US, but by the time they've got it landed here in New Zealand and paid all the legal cost of having it registered here, and often they've got to do a lot of repair work just to comply with local standards here. They might end up spending $30,000. It could be 2 to 3 times the cost of the vehicle, if not more. So it's another voodoo happening there, Sparky.
Yeah. I got more motors, so I gotta build airplanes for them. I got one more coming. Here's one that I'm gonna go tomorrow and fix the Venturi on, and then here's another one. I got another one coming.
At least the parts are readily available. The Venturis are readily available now through eBay, Shutterman, and I presumed Randy Smith would probably be able to help as well with Venturis.
I just make them.
Oh, yeah, you got access to a lathe?
Yeah. I got one at home, and then John has one.
I'm guessing our chat box is not working on YouTube tonight because it's empty and we've got 3 viewers.
Oh, very quiet. I didn't see it pop up. I looked briefly on YouTube before I came in. I'm kicking the boys out of the room here. They were doing their own thing, and I just said, well, I'll do Stunthangar, and I was watching on YouTube, but I didn't see the chat box.
I don't know what's up with that. It was working great the other night.
Yeah, no problems.
Oh, here comes Bob Bishop. Hey, Bob. Bob's on chat. So that's a good sign. Maybe just nobody was on with a computer. I think phones have the most problem with it.
Yeah, cell phones are problems.
Bob said he just got joined up with Stunthangar, and Dennis in 2009's on. He says, I see the chat box. All right. Well, good. We got chat.
Yep. Has Bob Bishop been approved yet?
I think, Bob, have you been approved yet? Have you responded to your registration email? Tom Priest here.
How are you, Tom?
Hi, Gerald. How are you?
Good, thanks. Working
Yeah.
on the stick.
Bob says he's approved. R.W. Bishop
Okay.
has been approved. Yeah, so good. Yeah, because you can't, I guess you can get it a chat box if you're not a member. Well, no, because you can't find because it's unlisted. So yeah, he had to have gone through Stunthangar to get here. You can't get here without going through there. So what's up with you tonight, Tom?
Nothing. But what are you guys up to?
We're just getting started. Our usual opening routine, just kind of getting things sorted out and finding our groove.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if Steve Hines was gonna come on, but he's been wanting to know what the weight difference was with that muffler being on there, and wondering where the CG come out at, and it's so I just now got it hooked up, and I'm gonna find out right now.
All right. Old Uncle Terry sent me an email a while ago about making the motor mount for his Voodoo, and sent some pictures, and I think he might want to come on and talk about that tonight. I believe he's going to be with us. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I got his email as well. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. I didn't have time to read the whole thing in close detail, but I looked at the pictures and scanned what he wrote about it. Looks like a good gluing system he's got.
Mine's got 2 dowels through it, all the way through. This one.
Or do you put dowels through the bearers and then through the fuselage or the center rib?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to make the combat wings, traditional combat wings, out of one staking the bell crank plate as well.
Well, I did something else with the bell crank. I put it, this is the only one that has a motor tether on it. I got a separate lead out coming out the leading edge to tether the motor, because I guess that's part of the rule.
Yeah. We don't have a class for 36 combat or 35 combat here, but we'll have a few people keen to build them if we build some ourselves, I'm sure. It's just nostalgia combat, really. And well, it's all ready to weigh or check. Tom's got a sucker all strung up, ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. We were talking about tight bond last week, and I found it. Tight bond 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, tight bond.
The tight is that tight bond 3?
Oh, that's 2. And number 2. I managed to find the original tight bond and tight bond 2. I didn't see tight bond 3 though. I had to do quite a bit of hunting around to find that. A lot of the hardware stores here aren't that great. It's not a lot of stuff, but you just keep looking around until you find it. I just went to the biggest Mitre 10 hardware store in Auckland that I know of, and luckily enough, they only had the one size of glue too, which is a bit frustrating. I'm normally used to buying a bigger bottle rather than a little one, but on what you can get.
Well, regular Elmer's white glue works just as good.
Yeah, that's just a plain PVA.
Ron Hass is with us now. Just joined.
Who?
Ron Hass. He's over on YouTube.
Yep.
Good evening, Ron.
Oh, I was wondering. No, I didn't see no Ron. YouTube. Okay, I got you.
Have you been out to the workshop again, Rusty? Have you
I have. I had a good night out there last night. I spent about 2 or 3 hours out there, and I've got the nose ring mounted finally, so that it lines up with the right angles. with the motor and spinner, and I've got the doubler tacked on exactly where I want it, and scribed some lines to do some carving on it. So I just need to glue it on, get it cut down to size, and round it off, and round a few other things off, like the tail end of the fuselage behind the stab. Glue the rudder on. The rudder's pinned on now, and pretty much just get it glued up so I can finish the shaping and sanding and get that thing silk spanned and painted.
Sounded good.
And I move on to the wing. Now, you know, I always make it and imagine it to be easier and quicker than it is, but that's about where I am. In fact, I got some pictures. Show you what I got. See if I can go over to my desktop and get them keyed up. Let's see. I gotta make a folder for them. New folder 2, and all right, let's see.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, what's up, Gerald?
You good? Just repairing planes ready for flying tomorrow.
All right.
Rusty's going to show us some pictures of his carbon.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the progress I made on the Cardinal the last couple of weeks. I guess I hadn't showed any pictures since then, so just getting everything queued up here. And so let's see if I can screen share it.
All right.
And we got a pretty good crowd over on the chat box right now. I got Bob Bishop, Dennis in 2009. Got Ron Hass, and no, that's it right now, but at least we got the chat box working. And screen share.
Who's building a voodoo?
That's Sparky building a voodoo. It seems like everybody's building voodoos these days.
Voodoo invasion.
Okay, here is what it looked like about a week ago after I'd gotten my datum lines drawn. Still hadn't glued the nose ring on yet. And then last night I went out, and as you can see, I've got the inboard doubler glued on, and I've got scribe lines on the other side of it so I can carve it before I glue it on and get it close. And then y'all have seen that. That's just that flat bar I put in the tail end to keep it from wagging its tail.
Right.
From twisting, right? The carbon fiber.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did to it. This is just another side of that same view. You can see the inboard doubler on there, just pinned in place, and the nose ring, you can see it right behind the cone, nose cone.
I see that. Very nice.
Well, it doesn't sound like much, and it doesn't look like much, but it's more than I had. So we're gradually getting there.
Yeah, I like your fuselage jig. That's kind of cool.
I'm glad I didn't accidentally cut that square notch out of the front right there. I almost made a major boo-boo. Was not thinking. I drew it out, but it never hit the scroll saw. That's a typical Rusty mistake.
I've done that. I've done it. I've glued them on the wrong sides too.
This photo makes it look like the thrust line is out of center, but it's not. It's just the angle of the camera, I think. Can you see my mouse at hand? Because that looks like it's higher up on the motor than the glow plug, but it's not. And you see that ridge right there that stops right there? That's actually the center. So it might be a 30-second too high, but that's what you get.
Yeah. What engine is that?
Well, that's an FP40. That's just for the mock-up, but it's going to be an LA46, which has the same footprint.
Right. Right. And what kind of spinner is that?
That is a $18 Omni Models. That's a Great Plains brand, but it's made by Dave Brown, I believe.
Okay, looks good.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice looking plane there.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
And
getting there. That's cool.
color scheme's going to be chrome monocoat on the wings with cobalt blue. I don't know if it's going to be a wing shape like I did on my Osprey or something. I hadn't decided yet. And then maybe the nose is going to be chrome and the underbelly too. And so I'm working with it. I need to draw it out on paper, something I've never done before, and before I paint it, and instead of just trying to freelance as I go along, you know. And so Don Jenkins always draws his out on paper and then looks at it and reworks it and asks for advice, and then comes out with a great looking color scheme. And so I'm gonna try to be a little more professional about it and use my brain a little bit before I start spraying.
Very good.
How's Don doing since he lost his dad?
He's okay. Was it his dad? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I saw him last weekend, and he's in pretty good shape. You know, I don't know. I'd never met his dad, but you know, it's always tough, especially if you're. You know, I lost my dad when I was 16, and I was too young and stupid to realize the totality of my loss at that time. And
Right.
it didn't hit me until years later, and I miss him more now than I did then, you know. So I guess that's part of being 16, is you're too damn brilliant for your own good.
I call my dad about twice a week because time is short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. So is mine. I minimum once a week I'm at his house and spend some time with him.
I saw my dad yesterday, but he's losing the control of all his bodily functions now. He's really crapping out, but he's had a good lot. He's 87, so he can't moan too much.
How's his mental faculties?
Going, you know, they said his brain shrunk. They did a scan of his brain and said that the actual brain had shrunk. So he's still got a sense of humor. He's quite funny in his own way, but he's losing control of his legs, control of his bowels and bladder and all
Must be so frustrating.
How old is he?
Does he know who you are?
Yeah, he still knows who we are. He still remembers some things very vividly from his past, but he still asks about the planes and things that we're doing. But it's just his body's crapping out. He was a strong guy when he was young. He was a boxer, and that's probably taken its toll as well on his brain. And he got a balance problems early on, because I think it came back to being a blacksmith and a boxer and all that stuff when he was young. And he did his time in the military, but it's just can't stop the progress of dementia and things like that as you get older. Some people seem to weather it better than others, but it's sad watching it. Really is. Somebody that's really strong.
My wife's mom's got it pretty bad. She knows us. She can't remember our names, but she kind of knows us when we're there. But if we were there 4 hours ago, she wouldn't know she hadn't seen us in a year, you know. And so her memories, just different parts of the memory work and different parts don't.
Yeah, some of it's funny. Like my wife's mother could remember my name at the end, but she couldn't remember my wife's name.
Yeah,
it was quite strange, and my wife found that quite annoying. How come she can remember your name but not mine?
Bob Bishop just checked in. Bob Bishop just said he lost a Fox 36 out of his voodoo in 1968, and he found it in a deep alfalfa patch about 100 feet away from where it got loose.
Wow.
When?
How long was it between the time you lost it and the time you found it, Bob? How long did it set out in that alfalfa before you found it?
Yeah, it mustn't look too good now.
I hope it wasn't 45 years.
That's okay. Send it to Randy.
Yeah, Randy will appreciate
Randy
it.
will fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, often it's when they've had water on them, there's nothing you can do. And the water, you can.
Oh, we got a new joiner. Well, we've seen him before, but John Sanchez says, "Howdy, folks." Hey, John.
John.
Bob says it was 30 minutes before he found it in the alfalfa patch.
Oh. Hey, look what I stumbled onto.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
That's Charles
What is
Mackey
Oh wow!
in like 1960s. I guess, one guy says it's a Crusader.
It's a gobble swans.
It's a what?
Gobble swans.
I still didn't understand.
Gallows.
Yeah, you did. Gobble swans. It's called a gobble swans.
Oh, gobble.
Okay.
Gobble swans?
Yep.
Wow, it looks cool, Tom. That's really
So
cool.
this ain't Charles Mackey?
Yep.
So is that like a flap in the middle?
Yeah, right,
Okay.
right here.
Yeah,
Right there.
that's weird and cool at the same time.
Yeah. See?
Yeah,
They flew one at the Nats one year. What the hell?
that's awesome.
Oh, it's
When
called
did
a
you
boomer. What the hell was the guy's name? Oh shit!
That looks nice, Tom.
When did you start building that?
This another guy built it and stopped. This is as far as he got, and he handed it to another guy, and he was like, "I'm never gonna get this going," and I'm like, "Damn, I like it." And he says, "Well," he goes, "Take it home then."
Wow.
That
So-
nose has got a lot of leverage on it if it hits the ground. It looks
Yeah,
like
I mean, tricycle gear. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
yeah,
Well, I mean, that's
that's awesome.
That cow treatment is pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, look at it. It looks like it. Yeah. I don't think
You
it's
have a
too
motor that
bad.
matches the holes for the engine mount.
I don't know. It's set up for a Brodak 40.
Oh, okay.
Who gave it to you?
Larry
Larry who?
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh. I'm trying to think of the guy's name who probably built it.
Lee Concannon.
Oh yeah.
Has it got a sharp lead edge?
Well, not really, but it could be toned down a little. It could be blunt a little more. I think.
I'd wait and fly it and see how she flies.
Well, the top side of this wing's not covered. The bottom is covered. This wing over here is already covered, except for the wingtip. But it's boy, it's gonna need some sanding.
Lee
Yeah,
Cannon, is he still alive?
yeah, yeah. He's not building anymore at all. But last time he was building some cabinets for his house. Not a cabinet, but a TV thing, TV entertainment deal.
How do those controls feel?
Pretty good, except it's squeaky. I have a squeak like a.
Got a little spray silicone on that bell crank, and
Well, the bell crank's enclosed, man. It's over here on this right boom, on this outboard boom.
oh,
That's where the push rod comes out, and the elevator horn in the back. There ain't no adjustment on it.
Huh. You had a
Anyway,
canopy earlier. I think you had a canopy, right?
for this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let me see it again.
it's yellow.
Okay.
It actually looks like a like a P-51 or a
I was thinking.
like a P-47 or something like that. Bubble canopy. I don't know, man.
you paint it.
Hey, talking about canopies. Hey, when I clear coat my Stuka, do I clear coat the canopy too?
No, not normally.
No,
I do.
you gotta mask it off.
I paint them.
Mm.
Well, I talked to a couple other guys, and that's what they do. They paint them. I didn't know. I'm glad someone said something because I wouldn't have known.
Well, if you put lines on the outside of the canopy, then you need to paint it. But if you can put your lines on the inside of the canopy, your framing on the inside of the canopy, then you don't need to paint it. But
Right. Well, I put my frame on the outside of the canopy.
oh, you'll need to paint it
But
then, yeah.
that's the one that Stuka, the one I did that chemo on. So I just I had 11 window panes in that Stuka.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the frame, yeah, when I painted the fuselage and body and all that, it was just part of the paint job.
That's the one that cost you 69 cents to paint?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, I actually had to buy different colors this time, so I think I got up there to $1.50. But I was going to clear coat it today, but I'm not going to now. Because I got on the control line flying. I got a people think I should weather it. Make it look like it been through hell. You know what I mean? Battle and all that.
I don't like doing that. I like to think it's a new plane, It's off the production line.
What's that?
I like to think that it's a new plane off the production line. Mine normally aren't weathered. I like to think they're brand new off the production line, brand new off the building board. Don't need no weathering. But
Yeah, I know, and I don't know. My first thought of weathering was like, I don't know. I kind of like this clean look.
yeah,
And yeah, I've had several people say, "Oh, weather it. Go ahead and weather it." They're supposed to look
exhaust streaks and all that.
Yeah.
Holes.
the plastic modelers love their weathering. They go to town on the weathering. They spend as much on the weathering as they do on the paint. But yeah, I suppose if you want to polish it all up and keep it nice and clean at the end, then the weathering's going to suffer because the weathering will start coming off more easily.
One guy says, "Well, just go ahead and clear coat it because after you get about 100 flights in it, it's going to make its own weathering."
Yep. Well, engine, you get all that muck, all that glued on.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of like just the clean look, really, but I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah, I like the clean look. Yeah, even if I'm as rough as hell, I like the clean look.
I'm just gonna just leave it alone for a while and just kind of, yeah. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. We'll see. We'll let her set and kind of stew around for a minute.
Oh, it's like I've got that old P-51 Mustang with the flipped fork on it, and after flying it 25 years now, it really looks like I spent a lot of time weathering it. But it came out naturally.
Let's see that thing again.
Oh, You want to see my old Mustang? Drag up my Mustang. You can see it's weathering. It looks very weathered.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I count 14 planes in the background.
Oh, there's a lot more than that. Oh, there's my old Mustang, and it's got all the caster stains.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's weathered.
Yeah, it's got underneath, crash repairs underneath. But yeah, it's got a patina from age, like an old hot rod, an old rat rod. But,
Yeah. Wear your scars and scrapes like a badge.
Yeah. It's been a great model. I built it as a display model. We just wanted something big that we could use for club displays. And that's the last survivor. Well, my wife's Messerschmitt was similar, but she hasn't flown it as much. It doesn't have the weathering. It's on the wall over yonder. Her Messerschmitt. You might be able to see it in the corner.
Oh yeah, looks good.
Yeah.
It flies quite well, but it's got a short couple. It's got a short tail. That's what we knew at the time when we built it 20 years ago. So it hasn't got a very long tail moment. My old Mustang on the wall, my old Sig Mustang up there too. But,
yeah, those short tails turn a nice snappy corner though.
Yeah.
Easy to over control.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun in their own way, but you just don't have the accuracy. You're trying to do squares and they look like oblongs, but it's all part of the deal. If we fly a more modern model, and you just realize it's so much easier with the modern moments.
Oh, man.
Say, we're missing Jim Ballard and Steve Hines. Maybe they'll be along shortly.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I got a brand new fuel tank in this thing. Woo!
All right.
Sweet. I didn't notice that. Wow, that's about 15 bucks.
It's one of those Brodet kit tanks, I presume.
See what
That'll wash it out really good.
What's you gonna fly tomorrow, Gerald?
Oh, the kids are trying to get their stunt maneuvers better. So that's what I was working on before. Was Max's Showman lost his spinner last week. I had to swap a spinner over on it, and another model that I've been flying was a friend's old model. This Claptrap, it's a 15 size model, and it's great for them to fly with. But I went and closed the boot door, the tailgate on the station wagon on the outer tip, and managed to flip the outer tap. Oh, that is crazy. My wife was flying. She said, I'll be really careful with it. It's a friend's old model. I won't ding it. And then I go and close the tailgate on the model. Must have slipped. My son says, I heard a crunching noise, Dad. And I think, oh, no. And,
yeah, we were at a contest last May, and my wife closed the hotel door on my Cardinal wing.
oh,
Popped up just for a moment where I put it there where I was, moving things in and out. Next thing I knew, I heard cracking, horrible noise. But I think it just fractured some of the sheeting near the tip of the wing. It wasn't any big deal. So I never even did open it up and look to see what made all that horrible noise. I just flew it and it flew fine.
My brother flew a model into a goalpost one time, and Claire took the outer wing off. And it was spectacular. Carried on flying because it was the outer wing too.
Right.
But
yeah.
It was a big model too with the KMB 60 on it, and we were doing a school display at the time for Epsom primary school, and the kids thought it was part of the display, taking off the outer wing.
I flew my Skyray through a cedar tree one time and exited with no monocoat on one wing. It kept on going.
It's
Yeah,
that thing.
I flew my flight streak. I have a big flight streak. It's supersized, and I flew it into a tree, broke the outboard wingtip off right before a contest. So I rushed home and spent all night fixing the plane, and it was ready to fly for the contest the next day.
Well, that's good, as long as you had enough sleep there. Yeah.
I watched you flying a Nobler today, Charles.
You was?
I watched you fly a Nobler today.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, the one at the Sir. That's at Whittier Arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that video is actually gaining some momentum. I'm surprised it has over 1,000 views on it, which is big for me. I mean, I don't have that many views, but yeah, I'm surprised. It's I think it's my top viewed video.
Yeah. If you say Nobler in your video, that'll get the views in as well.
That's what I thought, you know. And yes, it's a pretty good video. As a couple of years old.
Yeah, well,
that was an official flight too at a contest.
My top viewed video only has about 9,000 views on it.
Only 9,000? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, for air modeling, that's really good. And yet these cleaning videos that my wife likes watching and cooking videos, and they've got zillions of views, and you just think, who watches that stuff? Why can't they watch that stuff?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
I have very few videos of me putting up a decent flight, but only a couple of them. And one of them is actually with the Nobler too.
Okay. Yeah, my friend actually videotaped me at the contest, and he wasn't really prepared for all the maneuvers. And the wind shifted on me, so I actually flew the maneuvers around. And you can even watch the judges circumventing the circle to get a good view of what I was doing. But yeah, it's yeah, I too haven't had my best flying caught on tape yet.
When I'm flying good, I'm paying too much attention to flying than to mess with the camera or try to recruit anybody else to hold it. I take a tripod so I can set it up. If the wind doesn't shift, then I can get it. So
yeah.
If I record a flight at a contest, it's always a flight that was not my best of the two. It's like at Triple Tree last year, I flew a beautiful first flight, and then my second flight, twice in that flight, I got my lead outs hung up and went way out of shape. And that was the one, of course, that we got on camera.
Right. Yeah, that's how it happens. Yeah, I've been.
You got a video of me whipping.
I do, yeah.
That was a very good video. I like that. And we could hear you saying, "Did I get it?"
Yeah, and I didn't want to holler over the judges because I was standing right next to them. And then after they said that he had gotten 2 laps, which was late, I reiterated it, but I didn't say anything until they did. Yeah, they didn't need a hack cameraman making any snap judging calls before they made them.
I have a video I haven't uploaded yet, but it's from the Southwestern Regionals. This is my second official, and I might put it up, but it's not a very good example of my flying. I think I really stunk the place up.
There's one there's the feature video on my YouTube channel homepage if you're a return visitor. It's another one if you're a first-time visitor, but it's Wayne critiquing or judging my pattern as I fly through it, and that's one of the better patterns I've flown in that video. And that's actually my old Cardinal that I'm flying in that.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. That was quite a good video.
Boy, this thing's in pretty rough shape, fellas.
Lick a paint and finish the covering, you'd never know.
What is it, hanger rash? Is that what you mean?
Well, yeah, Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some advice. Don't spend a lot of time on it.
That's an easy one. Yeah, that's the obvious thing. If it's not something you built yourself and you don't get too precious about it.
Yeah, coming from an unknown, sort of an unknown builder, you never know. It could be a dog. So that's.
Well, I know him, but I don't
He's a
know.
member of the forum.
What's that?
He's a member on the forum.
Right, right. I talk to him every now and then, but I'm gonna have to ask him and see when he started building. How long ago?
Well, we were out at the field one day last year, and Whitemore, it was maidening a Texan that he started building when he was 16, and he's 84 now.
All right.
Wow. Cool.
I got a Nobler that I started building 2 years ago hanging over my head here.
Sounds like a decoration.
What I'm probably going to do with it is I'm going to finish it and give it away.
Well, that's nice.
Is there a green box kit or is it a scratch?
You could even do yourself like a raffle, you know?
It's a scratch built.
Oh wow, very cool.
Have a little can set up there and say, "Here, man, a buck to win raffle."
You making me yawn, Sparky.
What's that?
You're making me yawn.
Yeah, well, I'm beat.
Oh, I'm sitting here eating pistachios tonight. That's kind of hard to eat gracefully.
I can smell chicken roast coming in. Oh. At least my wife's at home, being a Saturday here. She's cooking for a change.
All right.
It's always nice when they got the company. But yeah, she often doesn't get home until quite late at night, so I do most of the cooking. Yeah, but she's got a long day. She normally leaves work at 7 and she's normally back home about 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's just the travel distance going from town to from country to city and then back again. A lot of time.
What does she do?
Oh, she works for a council, our Auckland council. She's got a fairly good job in council, so she's prepared to travel because of that. But at times she says, "I'd rather have a lesser paid job for a closer location." But it's something to aim for as one gets older, I suppose. Take less pay and work locally if you can.
I wish I could remember that guy's name who lives in Auckland who sent me them CDs. Who's the guy who has all the plans there?
Oh, Win Robbins.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah, I know him. He was really into stunt, quite big for a while. He's a bit younger than me. He's probably 10 years younger than me. And he's quite a good builder and a good stunt flyer, but I think his marriage broke up and things sort of fell apart a bit for him, and he's flying mainly hand-launched gliders, from what I understand. But yeah, he's built up a huge plane collection over the years.
I bought a take apart crutch from him. Or did he? I can't remember, but I don't even remember what I did with it. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I think he's got some contacts in the States, and he's brought in a lot of kits. He brought in a lot of Brodeck kits. My brother bought a Aries off him for a good price. But yeah, he's brought in lots of stuff and helped the hobby a lot.
Hey, Spark.
Hanger shirt.
All right.
Oh, yep. Yeah,
representing 2018.
Yep.
You like the green one, huh?
Yeah, I wear a lot of green shorts, so that's why I'm trying to find a lot of green shirts to fly with.
Is it a short sleeve?
You need one of these.
Yeah, short sleeve.
You need one of these, Charles.
Yeah, I saw that after I bought that. I saw that. I was like, oh, man.
They're still up there. I'm leaving those shirts run. They print every 3 days.
I really like that. But I got this.
I'll have to order some more. The kids are quite keen to get a T-shirt each, so I'll have to order them some. They like the chicken wings. You can read their cartoons on print set and off their website. So they really enjoy that. And it's neat that they involve aeromodeling or full-size aviation with a bit of comedy, and that helps keep people interested. It's just like the old Peanuts cartoons with Snoopy and that Christmas special they always play, that the kids just they seem to enjoy it. Just putting them in.
I called them on the phone and I talked to the guy who's the artist, and I asked him if I could use, I told him that I saw the aviation cartoons online, and I asked him if I could use one of these for a shirt, and he sent me the templates that I made. I mean, I had to make that, but I used his template, his line drawing.
Yeah.
And come to find out, they're helicopter pilots that are firefighters. They dump water on fire.
Right.
And they're artists and illustrators too. They're brothers.
Yeah, they're very talented. Yeah. It's quite amazing just what some families are really quite talented. They're just so good at their thing. I suppose it's like the Wright brothers. They're two famous brothers, and it's funny because one of the guys in our club looks at my two sons and says when he sees my two sons, he says, "Here are the Wright brothers," because they're so keen on their flying now. But I suppose you just got to grow that sort of thing, and I presume they had parents that encouraged them and got them going along that aviation line and encouraged their illustration.
I stood in the Wright brothers' original shop down in the Wright brothers field down here by Wright-Patterson Airport. Oh. A great big long windy ass runway, and then there's a slab, a footing, and I stood where they built that airplane.
Yeah,
kind of cool. Nobody was around.
I'm going to be there in May. The ceremony of the restoration of the Memphis Belle.
Oh, that'd be neat to see.
Yeah.
Well, if you come on a Saturday, I'll meet you there. Otherwise, I can't.
Well,
see my Snoopy cartoon there.
Yeah, I see it there, Rusty.
That's pretty badass Snoopy there.
That's neat. Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps. Things like that help hook the kids in. It keeps them interested. It adds a bit of color, comedy to aviation and pulls them in. I remember as a kid enjoying watching the Snoopy cartoons, and you mix it with aviation, and you've certainly hooked a lot of young boys on it anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. That's an action-packed picture there.
Sure is. There's all kinds of things going on.
They got a Fokker D7 hanging in the right pat from the ceiling. Yeah. And I swear to God, that was only a half-scale model airplane. The guy said, "No, that's the real thing. It's tiny." Those are tiny airplanes.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
I guess all I had to do was carry one man and one machine gun, right?
That's it.
Yeah. It's like a P-40 is a tiny little plane. You look at a P-40, the Kitty Hawk or Warhawk, and they're so small compared to like a Thunderbolt or something. They're a tiny little plane. And I suppose the ME-109, again, is probably quite a small one. We've got the P-40 at our local museum, and it always strikes me as being such a small plane. I suppose we're used to these big-ass airliners that are just so massive. Even a little Cessna just looks so out of scale with them now.
P-51 is just a little bit bigger than a Cessna.
Yeah. And yet, how many times more horsepower, eh?
Yeah.
Tenfold, yeah.
What is it, like 1,400 horse, 1,600?
Yeah, it's 10
times. That Allison? I can't remember.
Allison was the lower of the horsepowers.
The Merlin.
The Merlin was
Merlin.
Yeah.
The bad one.
And we need Wally. Wally will be able to give us all the stats.
And there was Packard built Rolls Royce too. Did that have to do? Was that the same as the Merlin, or was that different?
that's
No, that's a Rolls Royce engine in the Harrier jet.
Yeah, just license built the Pickard version. We were watching one of those Great Plains videos, those Australian videos. They're really good about the Lockheed Super Constellation and Constellation the other day, and it was just amazing because it was really an evolution of the engine as well. It was like the pinnacle of piston-engined aircraft, but it's where there's some really good material out there.
Wayne's got a super canny kit that he's never attempted to build. It's an extremely complex kit too, and I don't know if it's meant to be RC or control line, but it's got nice spun aluminum engine cowlings and a lot of and the shock absorbers are, you know, hydraulic shocks, and it's just a beautiful kit. But I don't think it's ever going to.
There was some Japanese kits, post-war Japanese kits of the of a lot of the famous American aircraft, and they were made by. They were quite common, I think, through the late 40s, early 50s, and they did the Super Fortress and I've got one of their models. I think it's a Gyrator. But yeah, they made some of the very large bombers. When you look at control line videos, early videos, some shot on air bases, American air bases in Japan, you can see them flying some really beautiful multi-engine control line models. So it's quite possible it was a control line kit. I can't remember the name of the manufacturer. I've got one of those Japanese kits. I managed to get it. Yeah.
Tamaya?
Yeah, it could. Sounds like it. Some of them were sold under other brands as well. They were like an early version of the Kyosho kit, so very well made. They often had alloy parts in them. I'll see if I can grab my one.
Have you guys ever heard of a Horton 229?
No.
It's a German stealth airplane, World War II jet, made of plywood, and NASA built one and put it on a pedestal and shot radar on it to see if they could, if it was really stealth, and it was. And it's a flying wing, so our flying wing is not the first flying wing. Germans was.
Well, the Horton
German was ahead on a lot of engineering.
Yeah, there's a good video on YouTube about it, and they talk about how it was a stealth plane before its time. I think it was accidental though, because of the lack of materials. They used wood, and the profile of it was very good.
I guess wood's not very reflective.
Yeah. It's one of those Japanese kits.
I'll do a screen share of what one looks like.
Yeah, that looks like the cowlings in Wayne's kit.
Yeah, they were very detailed. Everything sort of cut out. All the formers and all are beautifully cut out. Everything's very well made.
Yeah.
It's like they said they were handmade by craftsmen in Japan after the war.
Is the plywood still holding together, or is the glue letting go?
No, the plywood seems good. It does seem good. It's obviously been well stored, this one. It doesn't seem to have had too much heat. I think if the wood gets too much heat, then it will be laminating.
That's a Horton 229.
Yeah, the Horton, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a nice looking plane. Awesome.
Yeah, it is. Boy,
wow, that is nice looking. Yeah.
Boy, they was ahead of their time, wasn't they?
The engines are well hidden from below too, so a up-looking radar might not catch the heat signature.
Yep.
When was that made?
I don't know about heat signatures back then.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, way ahead of their time. You know what? They had the 262 jets. Jet
heat
fighters
signature was not an issue. Not an issue back in that day, was it? They didn't have infrared detection, did they?
No.
No.
Only radio.
Yeah.
The
Microwave.
Stuka, it was the first pinpoint accuracy on munitions delivery back then.
At the Wright Pat Air Force Base, they have the human torpedo from the Japanese. It's a torpedo that the pilot sits in. It's the wings are about maybe a 6-foot wingspan. I mean, 3 foot on each side, and it's a suicide. I can't remember what the hell they call them.
The guys in the planes were called kamikazes, but
No, they weren't. They were called something different. Let me see what that is.
Huh. That's neat. I wouldn't want to be in it, but wow.
no, I wouldn't volunteer for that outfit.
I found it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a Yokosuka Ohakawa. Yeah, yeah,
Did you find a picture?
yeah. There's the picture there.
What did it do? Ride right off of the surface of the water?
No, I went into the water.
Under the water? Damn.
Yeah, well, they had some amazing innovation.
How long would it go into the water?
Till it hit the boat.
I mean, what are they, like a mile from the ship or
Probably not far, I mean.
a football field or. Wow. I never knew that.
No, they're called Caton. That's what my dad said. Caton.
Yeah, yeah. That was the.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah, I was showing the suicide bomber. It was like a flying bomb. Your one's the one-man submarine.
Oh, what the hell is? Oh, the Chiton was the one-man torpedo submarine, and the one that you showed was the bomber or the flying bomb.
Yeah, flying bomb, run-based flying bomb.
We got one of them at the museum here, painted orange, or it might have been used to be red and it faded to orange, but.
That's the Wright-Patterson Air Force Museum.
Yeah.
I'd love to go there one day.
You can't see it all in one day. I've been 4 times and I haven't seen it all.
Wow. My great uncle was the assistant crew chief on the Memphis Belle with the master sergeant crew chief. What was his name? Gomini. I can't remember. Starts with a G. But anyway, that ceremony starting the 17th, 18th, and 19th of it. So the family members, we get to go on the 16th, the night before, for a private ceremony for the family members of it. That's kind of neat. Can't wait to go.
That's quite a privilege, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's why aviation's it's been in my blood.
Yeah.
Today, a Alvin and the Chipmunks song popped into my head, and I can't get it out. And that's the one that's ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting, tang.
Ball, bing, bang, and the witch doctor said, yeah, that's it.
Oh, now you infected all of us.
I had that in my head the other day because I was thinking about Jim Ballard and his crazy microphone and the witch doctor song. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Muppets did a neat version of it on the Muppet Show.
I never saw that. Yeah, my son was a Muppet watcher when he was little.
Yeah, one of them still, the older one, still loves the Fraggles, if you remember that. But yeah, he just loves watching the Fraggles. He likes the character formation, and it got good themes and morals in the Fraggles. It was probably Jim Henson's high point when he did the Fraggles after the Muppet Show.
Yeah, I remember it.
But yeah, very influential, but not many positive programs like that now, I don't think. I suppose. things move on. Back in the day, everybody sat down and watched the same TV programs designed for a whole family in the past.
Yeah, we only had 2 or 3 channels, depending on where you lived.
Yep. $6
When I
million.
was growing up, they wouldn't even show a man or woman in bed. When I Love Lucy, Desi Arnaz,
They slept in separate beds.
Yeah.
they separate beds, and if they were in the same bed, they had to have 1 foot on the ground.
They weren't even allowed to show a commode, a toilet.
Mm.
Boy, times changed, haven't they?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I remember watching Leave It to Beaver, or was it My Three Sons, and they had the husband and wife in separate beds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You remember the My Three Sons episode with the control line airplane contest?
Oh yeah, when went to the hobby shop and didn't have enough money.
Yeah.
No way. I don't remember that. Wow.
And Robbie was out in the shop test running an engine on the workbench, and Uncle Charlie was, "What in the world is that? All that noise out there?" And yeah, that was like a 2-part episode, and I watched it on YouTube, but they might have pulled it sometime back. I don't know if it's still available or not, because over on Cox Engine forums, we all went wild watching it, and when the viewership shot up, it seemed like maybe it got somebody's attention and they decided they didn't want it published anymore. I don't know.
That wasn't a Cox engine though. That was a Wenmac.
Probably so. Yeah.
He didn't have a quarter. He needed a quarter to buy the airplane or something. He offered to work for the hobby shop or some crap.
Yeah. I think, did Robbie throw a contest, sandbag, and let the big doofy guy win because he wanted to go to aerospace school?
Yeah, he did. That wouldn't happen nowadays.
No, maybe not. I don't know any aerospace. I don't think Embry-Riddle's giving out scholarships for people that win control line contests.
Control line used to be a big deal. Big deal.
It still is in some places in the world. I mean, they get written up in the newspapers about contests, and they're looked upon as, sportsmen, but we're just looked upon as a bunch of crazy old men.
Yeah. Well,
Old geezers. We're geezers.
Geezers, yeah.
Yeah. I think the average age helped when it was a lot younger, and it was a better look for TV maybe, but I remember when I was relatively young.
It was also post-World War II, and everybody was fascinated with aviation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And aviation is just an everyday thing now.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine got on mainstream TV, the news in the evening, because he was going to the World Champs Flying Combat, Bryce Gibson, and that was a big thing, getting on the news. And the feature was combat as a sport. It was seen as a sport, so he got some coverage, and it was big talk amongst all the aeromodelers in New Zealand that, hey, this guy that we know is on TV. You got to watch it. But I can't imagine that happening again now somehow.
Yeah, I met Bryce at Rodak.
Sorry?
The drone thing has died down.
I was on TV once flying a control line plane in Canada. They did a show about Cox International, Bernie's company up there, and Bernie had a video of me flying my baby flight streak in the churchyard across the street and doing some loops and stuff. And they showed that on Canadian television.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're all on TV right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Worldwide television.
Yeah. We're famous.
Yeah. It's a lot less meaningful in a sense, like the aviation thing. The communications become so easy.
Yeah.
You can communicate however, but it's good.
Our shows, I think, average after reruns have been on and posted for say a week or two or maybe a month, they average about 155 views or so. I hadn't done an actual count, but that would be my guess. You think that's about right, Sparky?
It's somewhere in there. I have views ranging from 9,000 down to, you know, a couple of hundred. So the Brodak tours that you did, Charles, got 6,000 views on it
All right.
from last year.
It's an excellent video.
Wait till we do the museum.
Oh, the Brodak Museum.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the museum this year.
I hope if YouTube ceases to exist, we get the option to reclaim our videos and download them to our own files, so they don't go away forever, and they could be hosted somewhere else maybe.
Well, it's easy to do.
I know it is, but I just hadn't done it. I don't have, you know, well, I got enough room to do it on my computer, but that's the kind of thing I'll do if I think they're going to disappear, but don't worry about it until then.
Yeah, well, there's so much information stored online now. Stunthangar itself just has so much information. When you're just curious about something, just Google it on Stunthangar, or just, you know, do your search on Stunthangar, and you go so far back in time. It's an amazing archive of aeromodeling.
Yeah.
All the competitions that refer back to contests in the 70s and 60s, and
so is clstunt.com, but it's such a difficult format to read. It's an old style bulletin board instead of the forum style that this forum Sparky has, whatever it's called. I always forget the name of that. Simple Machines forum. But
it's been highly modified. There's no other Simple Machines forum that looks like mine.
Really? Yours looks a lot like a V bulletin. That's the one I have experience in the background with as a moderator, administrator. But on the front face, yours looks a lot like a V bulletin forum.
We're in our 12th year.
Very good.
Wow.
well,
I didn't even know Control Line Stunt existed 12 years ago. I knew Control Line did because I've been flying it since I was a kid, but not Stunt. I thought half A was the top of the heap.
Oh man, I remember turning paint line model when I was 11, 12 years old, looking at the gnats, and I wanted to go. And back then it was in Lincoln, Nebraska, and didn't get enough pop bottle money to get to go.
Nobody I knew in my neighborhood or in my family flew Control Line. So until I was 55 years old, you know, I didn't know any. I thought I was the only person in the world that still did it, I guess. And that's when I found out about the real story.
Well, I wanted to go to the gnats. That would have been back in like between 76 and 78, 1978.
I think I went to my.
I'm glad I got in, even if it was late. I'm glad I got in when I did. And,
yeah, I finally got there 2015.
Yeah, well, not the Nats, but just into the sport, because this is something that's been great for my mental health and my retirement. You know, something to do. A lot of people get retired and don't have a freaking thing to do, and don't have enough imagination to find something to do. And I just kind of stumbled into it. It started when I outgrew the field across the street.
I'm hoping to maybe carry the torch, you know, later years in my life for the guys that are here that, you know, will pass away. And I just, yep.
I remember who flew the Gobble Swans a few years back at the Nats. Jimmy Varnholz.
Okay.
He was the Pampa products treasurer or whatever. It was a white one. Matter of fact, there was two of them there. White one with a German cross on it. But that's what that is. It's called the Gobble Swans.
Yeah.
Gobble Swans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
You fly it in classic or old
Yeah,
time?
it's a classic airplane.
what is it?
It's classic.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I knew Charles. What's the deal with Charles Mackey then?
What about it?
Didn't he fly this thing like in 1959, 1960s Nats?
Yeah, it's a classic airplane.
Yeah, old time is what? What year does that? The old time stunt.
40s.
40s and to the what's the cutoff? Like 59?
I don't know, but that's a classic airplane.
The
That's
cutoff probably changes with time, doesn't it?
No,
It doesn't.
no.
I think it's 1952 for you there in America, from what I've read on the stunt
That
forum.
sounds right.
What's that?
52.
We have one cutoff here, and it's really annoying. We have 1970 as our cutoff. Here I am flying my Spark Ignition style Viking amongst other models from the late 60s. We need a separate category. But we did.
You and my friend Bob could really compare notes, because he flies Atwoods with, spark plugs and all kinds of really eclectic. He's got quite an eclectic collection. Some of just about everything.
No, I just want to keep it going, because there used to be a lot of other people flying Spark Ignitions, flying some really old models, but nobody else is doing it now. The oldest I've seen flying really has just been like the Peacemaker and the Nobler. Nobody else sort of ventures further back. But in the past there were, but we've lost a lot of the air modelers that were into the classic models. I think the classic, like the classic RC, the old timers were really popular in the 80s. People were building all these old Spark Ignition free flight models, the great models like the Rambler and the Powerhouse, and these huge big models that were really terrific. They look great, but it doesn't seem to have the same interest now. But there was a lot of the RC magazines at the time. There was a real craze, and I think there were a lot of reproduction motors put out at the time, Spark Ignition motors being built again. But like a lot of things, it sort of goes through its phase and then fizzles again.
I wonder what do you think kind of scheme you think ought to do? What the military style or something like Hot Rod or a Bitch and Ride style?
On that airplane,
Yeah.
don't waste a lot of time or money on it.
The paint's no big deal.
How much does it weigh?
How much does it weigh? Hey, good question. Hey, the engine in that, I've got an LA 40 in that, and it bolts up. The bolt holes are perfect, but this is made for a rear exhaust, and the nose cone is off big time. The tank is already glued in, and it's the same height as the engine barriers. So yeah, I'm going to probably have to redo the nose on this airplane. We'll take the motor out.
Why would you do that?
The motor?
Was it only held in with one screw?
Yeah. I just want to see what he's got for going on.
Does that tank come out?
Nope. It's
Hey, Steve.
Hey,
it's permanent.
Hey, what's up, Cabby?
not too much, Charles. You get any flying in?
I did only a couple flights today, but they were good. I mean, I was I had shimmed the motor some more, and so it's running a little bit better. But I'm actually took the tank out, and I'm gonna start making a new tank. Maybe when I get off the show tonight, maybe I'll start soldering a new tank up.
Did you try a smaller Venturi?
No, I had a smaller Venturi in there before, and it was okay. But I like flying on. I'm on 66 eyelet to eyelet lines right now, and I like it. Gives me more time to do the maneuvers. It's a bigger space to do the maneuvers in. I kind of like that. I don't want to go down in length.
Did you try any like just putting a little bit of pantyhose over it?
Now that I did not try, but I haven't. I have one of those Bureline air filters on it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should help some then.
Yeah, it got better when I shimmed it, and I was talking to Tom Dixon, and he suggested that my needle valve had just one hole in it, and he suggested that I drill it all the way through, and then turn it so that you can't see the hole on either side. And even just doing that, it would lower the needle valve just a little bit. Probably talking about a 1/32 of an inch. But I did that.
Did he say whether to drill it straight through or on a bias through? Okay, straight through,
Straight
180 degrees apart.
Through the other side. Because before the venturi the needle valve was pointing straight down into the venturi.
Yeah.
By drilling a hole through it, now I had to turn it, which actually essentially lowered it. A small amount, but I was looking for any gain I can get. And it's still running a little bit slower or richer on the top loop of the vertical 8, and I'm just going to build a new tank.
Is that motor broken real good?
I guess so. I have 322 flights on it right now.
Yeah, that should be broke in then. Because
What is it weighing, Tom?
24.5.
Hey Tom, I want whatever you're smoking, man. You're just building like crazy.
This one was given to me, Steve.
Oh, okay.
It was.
I was gonna say, damn, you went from painting to have one all framed up and partially covered, from Monday. I'm like, holy shit! I don't know what he's smoking, but I want some of that. Have that much.
Yeah, I've been busy. I
thought the same thing, Steve. And I saw. I go, wow, how do you do that? The last plane. Did he put it on the last one?
I got it last year, and I told myself, well, I got to have something to do, but might not take a short time. But this thing here is going to take a little while.
What one is that?
Good night.
I was told it was Crusader, but Sparky says it's a what?
Good night, Sparky.
Gobble swat. Good night.
Gobble
Hey,
swat.
Sparky.
See ya.
A gobble swat?
Gobble swat.
No, swans.
Oh, gobble swan. Okay.
No, swans.
Swans.
Swan like a bird.
No, I heard swans.
SWAN, right? Swan.
No. I don't know how to spell it, but it's like swans.
It's
Gobble
probably
That doesn't gobble the swans? I don't know about that.
No, gobble swans.
Oh,
Not all one word. Gobble swans is what I heard Sparky say.
Yeah.
Oh.
What'd you hear, Rusty? What'd you hear,
That's
Gerald?
what it sounded like to me most of the time. Other times it sounded like some variation of it, but the most clear one that I latched onto was gobble swan.
Oh, swan. Okay. I heard swans.
I'm gonna type it into Google right quick and see what I come up with. Has anybody else done that?
No. Yeah, just type in Charles Mackey too. Yeah,
Mackey.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the designer. Charles Mackey.
well, you probably showed everybody else, Tom, but show me a little bit of the airplane.
Oh, sure.
Well, there's the nose. It must be for a rear exhaust, but my OS Max 46 LA lines up with them bolt holes perfectly. Sets in there perfect, but must have had rear exhaust or something because there's no exhaust cutout
Yeah.
on the side. It is a tricycle gear,
That's cool.
which is kind of neat. And that was the bottom side. And the top side, need to get this covered. This is not covered yet. And this is the boom.
Oh, okay.
And there's the whoa.
Where the hell the elevators run down the booms, or?
Yeah. They're tied together. The push rod is on this outboard, this outboard boom here.
Oh no
The
shit.
bell crank is right here on the outboard boom.
And that's a bell crank for the flaps and the elevator?
Yeah, here's the see the flap.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I figured it would be some kind of a double deal to where the bell crank would be in the middle and then it pushed that off the one flap.
No, I have the plans. I think I do. And or if I don't, I think I got them on a PDF file, and it showed in there that the bell crank was right here.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's kind of cool looking plane, man.
Looks
This
like
is where I'll never get her done.
looks like one wreck and that thing would be complete toast.
Oh yeah, it'd just be just poof.
Because that's a long nose. If it hit the ground, it'd take the wing out, break the nose off.
Oh yeah.
It's still an awesome plane though. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do too.
So did you get your other one cleared, your Stuka?
Well, I didn't do it today because I had I don't know if I want to weather it or not.
Okay.
Put weathering on it with the charcoal and the smudging and all that. I don't know yet. So I told myself, well, hell with it. I'll just let it set and ponder for a while and see what happens. Yeah, a bunch of guys said, man, you got to weather that. You got to weather that. So I got on control line flying and said, hey, let's take a vote. Yes or no? So I'll wait a couple days and see what everybody says, and I'll decide. Right now, I say no. I mean, I kind of like the clean look, but.
Well, one thing about it is that you can always, if you get little nicks or dings or whatever, then that's the time to weather.
Yep. Well, I tell you, that's already happened. I got a bad hanger rash already, dude. You got to see this. A piece of wood that I had laying up against the wall in the paint room because it was a bench I had, temporary just to hold some parts.
Yeah.
So I tore that down so I could have room. Well, guess what? I stumbled on a cord and knocked that piece of wood over into it.
Oh, John Sanchez is still out there listening to us. I didn't see anybody posting on YouTube, so I asked if there were still any tubers out there. John came back. Glad to know. It looks like we got about 3 people watching.
Holy shit! Right there at the man.
Right there.
Oh, you got to touch out, fix that, don't you?
Well,
I missed what happened to that.
I mean, it's already painted, and I'm not gonna redo it again. It is what it is. I'm like, so man, I don't know. Maybe after I let it set for a while, maybe I'll fix it. But I don't know. What would you do? Would you fix it, right?
Probably, since it's a brand new airplane. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd cut it out to a neat shape and then make a little piece to graft in. I missed what you said happened to it. How did it do that?
A 3/4 inch thick OSB, 2 foot wide, 3 foot long chunk of wood fell over on it.
Oh man.
It happens. It's not hanger ash, it's car ash, but it happens sooner or later.
You know how many times I've redone that tail sanding that paint off of that tail and then repainting that 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Well, I was like Samantha with one of her airplanes. I stuck it in my bedroom so nothing would happen to it while we were cleaning out a room and stuff like that. She went to get a pair of scissors. They fell out of her hand.
Oh.
It hit a table. Then it hit the bed. And then it bounced and stuck the scissors through the wing on their airplane.
Oh, man.
I'm like,
I usually have something like that on all of mine before they're finished being built. I'll drop a screwdriver or an X-Acto knife through the wing, or something like that. And I don't have a single plane that doesn't have some blood inside of it.
One time I come home from school. I was like junior high school, and it was flying day. It was a club day after school. So, man, I flew home real quick to get all my airplane gear, my airplanes to go flying, and went to pull them out from underneath the bed, and all the wings were crushed. I'm like, what happened? My mom vacuumed. She didn't know my planes were underneath there.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
So it wasn't flying day after all, was
It
it?
was flying day after all.
You had some serious fixing to do, didn't you?
No, but boy, I tell you, my mom, she made it up, though. I mean, boy, she took care of me for a good week or 2. Boy, I had the
So that's good. She was not indifferent about it. I'm glad to hear that.
yeah. She felt really bad. So I wasn't mad at her or anything, but yeah, my mom was pretty upset. She had no idea. Back then, vacuum cleaner, man, was loud. She probably didn't hear the crunching.
No. It was probably an Electrolux.
Yeah.
You drag around on the floor.
Yeah, I'm talking about dropping scissors and stuff. You ever work in your shop in like flip flops or your socks or bare feet?
No, I wouldn't
And
dare.
you drop the X-Acto knife.
And it
No.
sticks
Do you guys do a dance when you do that?
Yeah,
I do dance to make sure it doesn't hit my feet.
Yeah,
I try
that's
not to
right.
slam it between my thighs before it drops any farther either. That's a reflex. It's hard to get over.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did the dance and danced right into it once.
Well, you remember Wally when he first was coming on here? He had an X-Acto blade embedded in the bottom of his foot and was walking around on it and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you guys can see this or not.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's sweet.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
I-
beautiful.
That's one of them Igor props. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's the nicest prop I've ever seen in my whole life.
I will never own a
That is
prop that fancy.
Too scared.
Wow.
Everything, the weave and everything is perfect in it. There's not a line that moves or anything. I'm like, how did they make that? And it's hollow.
Wow.
It weighs.
Hollow.
Yeah.
It's a hollow prop. How they hollowed that out, I don't know.
And the hell of it is, I couldn't do any more with that prop than I can do with a $2 APC prop either. But Samantha can.
Well, that's to keep the that electric motor so it spins up faster.
Yeah.
Just for the reason that less load on it. And I guess we're gonna try it. Everybody says it's the way to go.
Huh.
How many of them did you get? Did you get a spare one?
I got 2 of the 11 5s. I got one 12.5 thin and one 12.5 wide, like this one.
They're about $50 each.
40 and 45, I think they were.
Mm-hmm.
But I got whatever I don't use. John Paris is going to buy the other. I wasn't going to even get the bigger ones, but he wants to try them. So I ordered two sets of stuff. So we'll bring the other motor, speed controller, timer, all that with us. Then when I get back, then John's going to buy it from me. So
Very cool.
I don't go in there and have a damn problem.
Where'd you order that from? Russia?
Where does Igor live?
Slovakia.
Oh, Slovakia. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that the Czech Republic or is that different? I take it.
that's different.
You know, because it used to be
Republic is the old Czechoslovakia.
and now I don't know what all it is over there.
Yeah, all those little countries behind the Iron Curtain now. You know, they used to be the USSR collectively.
I guess now it's the Czech Republic and Slovakia, but they used to be together.
There's a Slovenia too.
Yeah.
And there's a Yugoslavia. And I got a.
That looks good, Steve. I gotta get one.
I got a good forum buddy from Hungary, and now I think we've had a new Hungarian join Cox Engine forums.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, we're headed to Aurora there tomorrow. We're gonna spend the weekend, try to finish that airplane of Samantha's, and then I'll be finishing.
Is where your workshop is?
Yeah, that's where Chris Rudd lives.
Oh, is that Illinois?
Yeah, it says you go north to it, but it's actually damn west of Chicago. But it's like 30 miles, I think, outside of Chicago. So I got a motel and we'll spend the night and then go back Sunday. And
I've been to Chicago a couple of times.
But I got the wings here and I got the wing tips all done and stuff like that. And so that part's done. Then we just got to do the nose, the rudder, hinging, make the flaps, stuff like that. And then that should be ready to, when I get back, start finishing with it. So
whose Oriental ARF is that behind you? Is that yours or is that Sam's?
Oh, that blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that one Sam flew so much. The covering's coming off it and stuff like that. It still flies good.
Has it got a 40 in it?
Yeah, it's got a Brodak 40 in it. This is the one that I had all the problems with it with the tank and stuff. So I don't know if you can
lower it a little bit. Oh, there we go. I can see the nose now in the wing.
Yeah, it's just an ARF.
I like that font.
Me too. I was about to say the same thing.
That font is really nice. I might copy that. I didn't think to do that font. That is neat.
What's that font called?
Oriental or something like that.
Yeah, it must be.
It was something like that. The only thing is that, well, I got that vinyl cutter, but the fuel messes. I don't know. The fuel messes with the vinyl after a while. But
did you ever change the stock landing gear?
No, I got the regular landing gear. I just take it off when we put it. This one hasn't flown since Brodak last year.
Okay.
She flew that in Classic or whatever it was.
So is Sam's AMA number only 3 numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What's the 280 represent?
That was John DeTavio's. His number.
Oh, really?
His original number was like 28076 or something. And the AMA, because of all the work he did and stuff, offered him a 3-digit. And 280 was open, and that was his first 3 numbers. So he took that, and then he willed that to Samantha just before he died.
Oh, that is nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that picture of John DeTavio. I think he's 86 on the cover of the Stunt News. And he's at the Nats.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. 1986?
Well, this is the 1986 Nats. I'm not sure if it's on what issue it was, but I've seen the image.
Oh,
I might even have it, but it's like he's just standing there just like a stud at 86.
Yeah, he was something. He was so damn funny. We'd be doing something. Come on, we're gonna go get something to eat. And he's walking. He's like, he does go, I'm running. He's just walking really slow. But
yeah, and he I never met him, but I watched him so much on the Wendy Anowski videos,
yeah,
because Wendy was really fond of him. He's like, John Ottavio was like a father figure to him, because Wendy's dad died in a plane crash, a real plane.
oh, I didn't know that.
And John Ottavio and Wendy used to work a lot together. They did a lot of work together. And then, John did a lot of work for Wendy at his properties. And they were really tight, And so he was always in his videos.
Well, they said that when Wendy quit flying that, he had nothing to do with flying any of the flyers, whatever, but except John.
Okay.
That John go see him, because they were so close. But they hung out. And it wasn't all about flying. So he was just a friend of Wendy's also, besides, for someone to fly with.
Did Wendy just suddenly quit flying, or did he gradually just kind of fade out of it?
No, the first year Samantha flew, and we were watching videos and stuff. So that was 2010, I think. 11? Shit, I can't even. I'm trying to find something on these damn. I guess 2011. We went to Brodak and we met him and stuff. And he said he wasn't going to fly the Nats anymore. That Brodak is now my Nats. And he was there for 2 days. And his daughter went into labor or whatever, and he left. And from that day on, he's never flown.
Wow. Okay. He decided to be a granddad.
Yeah. But they're saying that he may get back because his grandson's 8 years old and wants to fly.
Yeah. I've seen it on his videos. He's got lots of videos of himself and his grandson and his motorbikes. He's all motorbikes now. But I've seen that with other guys who've got into their motorbikes or other things, and then they get back into it a bit later on.
Motorbikes are pretty punishing on your body, so age might catch up with you faster than control line will.
But I think too is Wendy was one of the guys like McDonald there down there in Florida. I can't think of his first name.
Les McDonald.
Les McDonald. Gieske, some of these. Once they quit flying competitively, they're just done flying. They can't
sport fly.
Have fun at it. It's such a competition and shit to them. Bob Hunt's that way. Once Bob, he just doesn't fly. It's somebody that can't do it.
It's a shame. You think all that talent, surely they could just enjoy it for what it is, just sports fly, just for the hell of it. But
if I can still fly when I give up competition, I think that I'll have a lot of fun sport flying, but I'll be flying things like that voodoo and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like I don't shoot much anymore, but that was kind of, with me and shooting, everything was geared to competition. And I don't know, I went this year, no, not this year, but last year, one time, that was the first time in 3 years I shot. But it's just like, I don't shoot the scores I used to because I don't practice and stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of hurts me. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah, it happens. I used to be into a shooting club when I was young, when I was at school, when I was a crack shot. I was really good. But now, with the arthritis in my eyes being the way that they are, friends just say, you used to shoot well. What's gone wrong with you? And you just think, well, no, age. When I was young, I used to fly model helicopters. I can't do it for crap now. I just can't get my brain around flying the RC helicopters anymore.
Reflexes, just, my reflexes aren't what they used to be. And especially with the arthritis. The thing about arthritis in your hands and everywhere, I guess, is that your muscle memory doesn't work. So you have to learn new ways to accomplish the same things with your hands, as your fingers change and what they're capable of. So it's a terminal game of catch up.
Yeah, I really hate, yeah. I hate
Yeah.
winter. It's hard, and with arthritic hands in winter, you go to start your engine and everything just feels like it's all stiff. It just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's your eyes. You know, I got the one eye fixed, and I got to get the other one done here in a few weeks, the cataracts and stuff, and hopefully then I can see again. But because I shoot two eyes, so I got to have my left eye to shoot.
Oh, you shoot with both eyes open?
Yeah, and that left eye messes me up really bad, not being able to see out of it very good. It does something to my depth perception or whatever. But and I tried, you know, in the old days, I've won so many cases of beer and stuff by shooting an antenna on a car with a 22 or a BB gun or whatever.
That's impressive.
And I could just and it's a trick to it. Nobody figured it out that you just use the antenna for the front sight. Where the front sight is, if you just put the antenna,
it doesn't matter if you're high or low. Yeah. You
can just plink it up, but nobody can do it. And they're like, "Oh, you can't do that." And I just bring it up and bang, you know, the old antenna flew.
Mm-hmm. Can you light a match?
I never tried that, but I probably could in the day when I shot a lot. But Samantha's like, "I'd like to see you shoot the antenna." I said, "Well, if I shot the antenna on your car, I'd shoot out your back window." I said, "It used to poke up." I said, "Hell, ain't no damn antennas that poke up any place anymore."
Not anymore. Used to be able to go in any parking lot and yank one off a car.
Yeah.
Have an antenna whip fight.
But yeah, when I was a kid, I don't know.
I
Every day I shot my BB gun. Me and a buddy, we were always shooting, and there was an old rat car that had an antenna, and we just started like, "Oh, we can hit that damn antenna."
That's pretty good because I had never shot a BB gun that didn't throw a curveball.
Well, I shot it so much, I could see the BB come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew the arc and how it moved, and I could set up for that. And adjust sights and stuff to make up for that, for the drift in the BB. Especially,
did you ever find a brand of BBs that shot straighter than another? Because I always found Daisy BBs used to have chips of the coating come off of the outside. They had kind of a golden colored anodizing or something, and in some places it would be missing. I don't know, maybe I just had old BBs or something that had been rattled around in the box too much.
My brother he still teases me, you know, because I talked my mom into buying me BBs, or my dad, or whatever, and you get some that had 1,000 in them, or you get some with 10,000. I counted every BB to make sure they didn't cheat me.
Now, double B or BB is a standard shot size, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What would that translate to for a shotgun shell? What size would that be? Like number 5, number 4?
No, it's BB.
Oh, BB. It's low.
That's where they get BB gun, because it shoots that size shot. And then
well, 17 caliber, I guess.
Then there must be a B. If there's a BB, there must be a B.
Maybe.
And I think B is buck, but I'm not sure.
Might be. Yeah.
B shot they call buckshot.
Yeah. There's no number 1 or 2 or 3, is there?
Double aught, triple aught buck, single aught buck. So that's 1, 2, and 3 or whatever.
Okay. And then number 4 shot is like duck loads or something like that, I think. That's what you shoot at ducks with, is number 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've only been duck hunting one time in my life, and I can't really remember what the hell I shot.
I shot number 4. I don't know why though.
Probably is. I know I shoot 5 in pheasant. Everyone else I know shoots 4.
I shot 7s at doves, I think. Or 9s. Was it 9s I shot at doves? It was small.
But I always, because I shoot trap and I like a fixed choke, that I always adjust my pattern with my the shot size. So like where some people in singles would shoot improved modified, I still shoot 4s, Well, I still shoot full, and I'll shoot 8.5s. And then when I'm shooting handicap, I'll shoot 7.5s.
Mm.
So go bigger, and that tightens up the bigger the shot tightens up your pattern. So I always adjust. So I can't remember. I probably shot 5s because I got fixed chokes on my gun. I hate choke tubes.
All I've got is a double barrel 20 gauge Parker Brothers from my grandfather's era.
Oh,
but
no.
it's beautiful.
Side by side?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, them are nice.
It's
Side by sides are, I shoot a over and under, but side by sides, they feel really nice and stuff. But
now, I did something I guess you're not supposed to do as a collector. I re-blued it when I was a teenager, and I used some stuff from Sears that actually made the barrels beautiful, but they're brown and not blue.
well, actually, a brown on the older guns was the right color. But when they
really?
re-blued them, because they made them blue. That's a salt deal, and the brown is another kind of bluing, they call it, but it is a brown.
I had no idea what I was doing, but it was beautiful when I finished.
Yeah.
I still got it. It's in great shape. It inside of the barrels looks like glass.
You know, some people call regular, the blue looking, they'll call it hot blued.
Mm.
And I think like the brown kind is a chemical. It's a chemical. It's just a rust. Is all you're doing is rusting it so it doesn't rust anymore. And you oil it and it won't.
Right.
I
still pull it out of the closet once in a while and wipe it down and get the dust off and then hit it with a little 3-in-1 or something.
Yeah, that gun's probably worth a lot of money nowadays.
Probably. There was a guy at my office that I showed it to, and back in the 80s and 90s, and he said probably about $1,500 back then, but I've never had it appraised. But if it was worth $1,500 in the 80s, then probably twice that now. I don't have any idea. But I went out and I used that as a sport gun, and I probably shouldn't have. And also used high brass in it, which I know I shouldn't have.
No, you got to use lighter stuff.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of a Cannon Breech nickel barrel, single shot split open, 12 gauge?
No.
I have a 410 like that, but
that come from my great grandfather.
It probably has a trigger on top. You cock back.
Yeah, and it splits open.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if it's real nickel. I mean, it looks like nickel
On the outside of it?
Probably
outside and inside. When you open it up, the whole damn thing looks like it's made out of nickel. It's all silver.
Yeah, that keeps the receiver from stretching and just forming. I had mine silver nitrided. On mine, I had the bluing taken off and had it silver nitrided, and it does the same thing. And it looks like nickel or whatever, but it's actually silver nitride.
That's interesting.
I mean, this would have been back in I don't know, 30s or 20s, 1920s or so.
Because usually what they did was they either case hardened, and that's that funny looking, all different color blues and all that kind of stuff on the receiver.
Yeah.
Or they nickel plated them or chromed them or nitrided them or whatever to harden that metal so that it doesn't deform.
Now the my Parker Brothers shotgun, I'm told, is German silver around the, what do you call the part where the trigger's mounted and all the internal mechanisms are, whatever you call that, on the outside. It's got a lot of artwork scribed into it, but German silver.
Oh, on the side plates?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the side. What they call a side light. Yeah, that gun is probably worth more than what you think, because the shotgun I shoot in 1977 cost $750. Today, to buy that same gun is $9,000 some dollars.
Wow.
That's about how much the price went up from, and basically the same gun. There some internal differences, but I could, and it's just hammers, and I could redo mine and make it exactly like the new ones you can buy. But yeah,
maybe I should sell mine because I don't really have any use for it anymore. With and that gun packs a wallop of a kick, and I know my body couldn't take it to shoot. So, and my son doesn't want it, so maybe I should sell it to somebody that would like it.
What? I can ask my brother. He's into side by sides.
I'll get it out so we can get more information.
Yeah, we can figure out what kind it is.
Yeah, we can look at it one night.
All right.
Yeah, if I think about it, I'll get it out this weekend.
When did your grandpa buy it? Probably the 30s or 40s or something?
I'm thinking probably in the 20s. I was thinking 1925 or somewhere around there.
Okay.
But I don't know that for sure. It's got, I think 1925 is stamped on it somewhere. That might be a model number or something. I don't know. We'll have to take a look and see.
Okay. Yeah,
hey,
Parker.
I was looking around, and that plane, I think it's called a Crusader. As a matter of fact, I saw the plans for it, and it's a Crusader, Tom. Charles Mackey Crusader.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
By the guy who gave it to me and the guy who built it.
Yeah, and even RSM sells it. They sell the kit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, because I talked to Eric Rule about it, and oh my God, I didn't know Eric Rule. That's his favorite plane. He's got plaques and mementos behind his office chair up on the wall. Yeah. You ever talked to Eric?
I never heard of the other one, but I've heard of the Crusader.
Yeah, I've never heard of the Gobble Swans.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. But
sometimes models were given some bizarre names by the original builder, and then when they were kitted, they were given a much more kittable name. One that springs to mind were the ones, the Vico kits. They were renamed to make them more marketable. They gave them
like the Humbler. The Shark 45 was originally the Humbler.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the Shark 45 was the Humbler because George Aldred had the Nobler. And so I think Ed Southwick wanted something, so he called it the Humbler. But when it went to get kitted, they wanted a different name. So they went with the Shark 45.
Where did the Nobler name come from? Does anybody know?
No, but I have a couple of articles of George Aldridge and the Nobler. He probably
mentioned the Navy. What did it have to do with the Navy? Anything?
Oh, well, back in the day, the Nats were on the military bases. And so to kind of and the judges were actually aviation personnel. And so to wow the judges, they would do things like that, put the Navy on there and all that to give you influence,
Yeah, Bob talked about that. He said they wore the white gear and the white planes to give it the naval look, and that was very interesting. I wondered where
the white came from. Okay.
Well, that's why they wanted to go with judges that knew them and stuff, because they'd go up people that didn't know them and people that they didn't think should won. They had no idea who these people were, who was the best flight, whatever. They just judged the flights.
Yeah. I think it was all about wowing the judges. It wasn't even, I don't know if it was even a sanctioned pattern back then.
Well, yeah, they said, I forget the guy who did the Stuka.
Don Mills.
Don Stills, I think.
Don Stills. He used to fly 2-foot bottoms.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Curtis Cromer was famous for flying 2-foot bottoms or less.
Yeah, they said that, that's how they won the contest. Who could fly the closest to the ground and still do the.
Right.
I was just in awe of watching Curtis fly. A couple of years in a row, I was flying in the same events as him, and he was a fun guy. A real good friend of Will Davis and Watt Moore. But there's been a lot. Y'all may or may not know who I'm talking about, but he was written about in Stunthangar a lot last week because he passed away.
Oh, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Who?
Curtis Comer.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
He was nobody, quote unquote, special in control line, but he was a extremely talented pilot and won a lot of contests, and just was friends of people from the Metrolina Club because he was good friends with Watt Moore as a young guy. They were good friends in Atlanta, and then through Watt, Will met him, and they became good friends. And I think Curtis was the original designer of the Sky Dancer. Now I'm saying that right here on camera, where Will Davis will watch the rerun tomorrow and tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Oh, the pole dancer and sky dancer. That was going to be the next kit I got because it's a round fuselage.
I don't know if it's round. It's a full fuselage plane, and it's got a double tapered wing. The lead edge and trail edge are both tapered.
If it's the cloud, well, I know he made a 40. Well, the one RSM has as a pole dancer and a cloud dancer, but they're like a radial design. You know, the nose of it's round. And I wanted to put an electric motor in one. I'm like, that'd be perfect for an electric motor.
Yeah.
For cooling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking this Sky Dancer is not like that, but I'm not sure either.
Oh, Sky Dancer?
Sky Dancer, yeah.
Oh, the one I'm thinking of is the Cloud Dancer and the Pole Dancer.
Yeah.
Sky Dancer. Oh, okay.
A question for you, Steve. You're big on electric, and you probably have a good idea of what people are doing. My brother was asking, what's a Victor 40 like to fly electric? He was considering that because the kits are quite cheap. They're like 120, and putting an electric combo in to get himself back into stunt flying.
He'll love it.
Nice.
Says the best flying airplane she's ever flown.
Oh, that's very positive then.
Yeah, hold on a second. We're taking it with us tomorrow.
Oh, great. I want to see it. Yeah, I have the Vector 40R, but I haven't flown it in like 4 or 5 years because the somehow, I'm not sure where the disconnect is, but only my flaps are moving right now. The elevator's not moving.
Oh.
Yeah, now this is just the ARF. And it's got the electric setup in it. Top loads.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I stuck it together in 2 days because they actually shipped it without instructions and stuff because they finally come into Brodak and I wanted to take one to Florida. So I called John and he said, yeah, I'll sell you one without instructions because you did the first one for the prototype. So they sent it to me. By the time it got there, I had 2 days before we left for Florida. So, but yeah, I mean, it's with that. But we put a different motor in this one than one of the new motors that he got, the skinnier. If you go back to the, I can't think of the other name of that motor he has, but it's bigger around. If you do Dennis's setup, that airplane flies so good, it balances and everything. I mean, it's just great.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to know nothing to make it fly good.
Well, it sounds like it'd be a great way to getting back into it. And with an electric setup, I was thinking of one of those Cobra 2826 motors. I think Stunthangar Hobby has the motor on for about 55 US. The Cobra 2826, I think, has a the bolt-on propeller mount and the back mount included with it too.
I think Brodex sells that motor for like $35, the one that we stick in it.
Oh, okay.
I'll run downstairs, I'll get it and see what numbers are on it. Hold on just a minute.
Yeah. It seems one way of taking a whole lot of development out. I know he's got other models on the building board, but if it gets my brother into a competitive model that he can go straight back into it, it sounds a good formula.
Yeah. You know, I flew my Vector so little. Actually, when I started, actually the Vector, I flew my very first contest as a beginner. And, you know, I flew the first round, and in the second round, I was getting ready to take off. I signaled the guy let go of the plane, and it nosed over. So I took an attempt, and then we did it again, and it nosed over again. So I was dead in the water, you know. And when I finally took it off the line, I looked at it. I realized, oh, only the flaps moving.
Oh, no.
So I don't remember how well it flew, but I know that John Brodak says that's his best flying plane. Is the Vector in his section.
Oh, shit, dumping shit out all over. Yes, Aerowine motor.
Aerowind, okay. I'll jot it down.
But what it is with this one is it's bigger around and shorter. Where most of these are skinnier and longer. And Dennis said he did it because you get more torque out of a motor that's bigger around.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Which is the same size the Cobra does the same thing. But only thing I found is that we played with electric. Samantha didn't like him and stuff like that. And Dennis is like, you know, when we were there, you want to do the, you know, the prototype. And he says, I think you're really going to like it. I said, all right, we'll do it. With his setup and everything working that way, it was just plug and play. I mean, I couldn't believe how easy it was, how good it flew. And what Samantha said is that she got so much better so quick because every time she practiced, it was perfect. She goes, Dad, we come out, we'll fly 6 flights. I get 1 good flight because we finally got the engine right. First it's too rich, then it's too lean. Then I went back to too rich. It wasn't braking quite right. You know, use different fuel, different nitro, different, you know, to try to get it. She goes, let me get it. I get 1 flight and it's dark, we go home. She goes, now we bring out 4 batteries are charged. She flies a flight, I throw it back on the charger. You get about 6 flights in. She goes, they're all identical every time. She goes, no matter what day we come out here, whatever. The only thing we figured out was in what was it? Dead calm wind, we had to pick up 200 RPMs, and real heavy wind, we picked up 200 RPMs.
Yeah.
But normal, you know, then we had the RPM anywhere between like 2 and 8 miles an hour. We had the RPM set there, and it was always the same. But the extra 200 RPMs in calm wind, it would pull through when the damn you hit your own wake turbulence.
Right.
Just you needed that little bit more so that the airplane didn't flutter and shudder and everything else. It would zip around. It, you know, the prop would have enough to pull it on through. But yeah, this is a 2820/07 is what that Aerowind is, and the Brodak is a BH 1839.
How much are you talking about with the plane, with the motor, and
that way? If you have to go back to the video, Gerald, you can.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, thank you for that. Yep, that's great.
And I used the Hubron timer and that F2B speed control. Just how he said to do it. And I mean, when we put this together and took it down there to Florida, I mean, not a test flight on it or nothing. Set the RPM. We already knew what we wanted. And it flew. This one, though, I had to add another half ounce of tip weight to it. And I don't know why over the other airplane. Something's a little bit different. but I don't know why, because we flew the same line, same everything. But, oh, I know why. They forgot to build this airplane I got doesn't have a tip box in it. So I got stick-on weights, and I bet you the difference in the weight has to do because there ain't no plywood box in that wing.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
Maybe the location too,
Yeah, well, usually I always figure almost a half an ounce by the time you take the tip box and build balsa around it and glue it and everything else in the wing. That adds about close to a half an ounce out there on it.
Yeah, you don't care about how much your tip weight box weighs because it's going to go along to the ride anyway. So, which doesn't hurt.
Right. It could be too that this has a lighter wingtip than the other one did.
Yeah, that could be it.
So, who knows? But yeah, the damn thing. We'll take it with us tomorrow and take some batteries, plug it in, and it'll fly just like it did in Florida.
So what is Sam going to fly for the competition for the World Championship? A Vector as well?
No, it's you get the Pampa thing.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook?
No, I'm not on Facebook, but I have the Stunt News.
On Facebook, there's a Pampa deal there, Pampa forum or something.
Okay.
And the pictures of her plane, I don't know. I got them on my phone, but I don't know how to kind of show it. I guess I can kind of hold it up and see if I can show you I think it's kind of a Junar that it's going to be called the Sammy Special. There's going to be different stuff on it. So she's got tomorrow or whatever, Sunday, she got to design the rudder, and then the nose, we're going to put a scoop on it and stuff. So that's going to be her design and stuff. But the wingtips are just like the Peregrine of Chris Rudd's. But I can kind of show you some pictures.
Yeah, I'm sitting here on Facebook. I'm sitting here trying to get to Pampa.
Is there a such thing as a vector kit?
Yeah.
But I was referring to, there are like 120. They're very reasonable. I think Randy's got them at Aero Products and Brodex got them as well.
Now my buddy bought two of them vectors from Randy.
Right.
I ain't kidding you, man. Them some bitches are nice. They're I guess they're called short kits. They're put together. You just need to put the covering on and glue it together and finish it.
You mean it's like an arc?
Yeah, arc.
Yeah,
RC.
Okay. But not a full out box of sticks like my Cardinal, for instance.
No,
Right.
it's an arc.
But they only make the arc in the glow version. Because some people want silk and dope, because they want it for fuel proofing and all that kind of stuff. Electric is only an ARF, but it's $10 difference. You don't peel off all the covering, and that's what I was going to do with the next one, was peel the covering and then silk and dope it.
Yeah.
I mean, for $10, but I'll see if you guys can see some of these pictures.
Yeah, I'm on Pampa Control Line right now group and on Facebook.
That's the take apart tail. Can you see that? Or
yeah, I can see it. It's kind of bright. It's kind of white looking.
Let me click on me, and then maybe I can see what I'm showing. Yeah, it is kind of a little bit bright. There's the tail.
Yeah, I can tell what I'm looking at.
There's the fuselage. You can see where the tail will go on. There's the fuse before the
top block, or
yeah, that looks pretty flash. A lot of work in there.
There's. Oh, I see. If I tip the phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
The plug-in wing.
Is that an LG phone?
No, this is a damn moto.
I got one. That's what mine is too. Mine's the same thing.
Hello, Marco.
You want a projector for yours?
No, I didn't get a projector.
I bought the speaker thing.
Hey, I'm gonna share this right here. Can you see?
Okay, yeah, I can see that better. That's much better.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's them putting in the bell crank, and you can see the battery box.
That picture there looks like he's drilling for for the wing.
Yeah, it's actually for the bell crank because the bell crank is built into the fuselage.
Right. Oh, okay, gotcha.
And there she's I don't know if I think she was cap stripping, but yeah, the other one there was with the wings slid on and the bell crank in, and I don't know if he's posted, now all the horns are in it and all. Yeah, you can see the horns there now. There's the one ball link sticking up there.
Yeah, the flap.
Yeah, so
yeah, I like your battery rails, lighting them up there, the crutch right over here.
Yeah, I've never did that kind before.
Now, is she doing all of the building on this, or is that's
a video and drilling the
yeah, what it is that she has to build it for builder of the model.
Yeah.
Chris is really helping her a lot. I mean, we'd have had no idea how to do this, but she either had to build the wing or the fuselage, and then basically install the parts.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't see underneath that. There's a plate. Chris had made the plate. She had to glue it all in. And
is she already naturally mechanically inclined?
Ta-da!
Not too, yeah, ta-da. Not too, but she had shop class in
that's good.
junior high, but they ended up they don't do it anymore. She's still be doing shop.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Tom.
Sure.
Which is worth 1,000 words. You can really get a feel of what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't posted. There's some more that he's got. He'll probably, we'll probably post more of them this weekend and hopefully get a shot of the plane all done. And
yeah, what do you guys think of a scheme?
No, I don't know. I try to get her to paint it orange and stuff, and I have a feeling it's going to be pink or purple or something like that again.
Pink or purple?
Yeah.
She's going to own it. She's going to want the scheme that it gets, really. I think it's where the kids really, my boys enjoy decorating it themselves. That's where they put their personal touch in. It's their signature, their finish.
She said she don't much care for the old time colors. Like, hey, you're calling me old?
Just like neon type of colors,
right? Like she likes, it may even be green. She, like Derek Barry's planes. She loves that green and all that kind of stuff. Red, white, and blue.
That Matrix was an awesome looking airplane, wasn't it?
That was the coolest airplane I ever seen in my whole life. That, to me, a paint job of any airplane, full size, whatever.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's on the back of one of the Stunt Newses because that's actually how I found Stunthangar. Is I'll look. Somebody Wayne lent me a copy of Stunt News, and Derek was on the back outside cover, holding that plane when he won the best plane or whatever it is at the Nats, I guess. And
it has all the world champions' names in it. The Matrix falling down. If you look, it's like a quiz thing. You can look and they'll say Bob Gieske and
and it's got a lot of his family member names in it too.
Yeah.
But, he
never seen it.
He wrote an article in it too, and so I read about that. I'd never heard of him, and at the time I didn't know anything about all these stunt planes, and so I had to know more about this plane. So I got on Google and typed his name up, and bang, I ended up in Stunthangar, and I joined, and so that's how I ended up joining Stunthangar.
Yeah, I don't know how many concourses he's won now, but that boy can really.
He said that plane was too heavy to compete with.
That was the same thing with that green one of his. But to get that kind of paint job,
the Dreadnought.
It was the Dreadnought that the wing folded on it, the green, and
I'm not sure. I just remember he flew the Dreadnought instead of the Matrix at that contest, I believe, where he had the picture taken.
He says that his new airplane, the new Cutlass, is gonna put the Matrix plane to shame. We'll see what in the hell he has come up
Don
with.
Jenkins, my club member here, that built the yellow and red checkerboarded Vertigo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he wrecked it.
Oh man,
that was terrible. It had a $500 Randy engine in it too. He just told me last Saturday at the meeting, and that was his first high-end engine. And
what happened?
Some of his friends badgered him into flying it, and he well, I don't say badgered. He said he puffed his chest up. Okay, yeah, I'll show you. And they wanted to see it fly, and he was up top, and the wind took it away from him, and it landed almost at his feet. There was no outrunning it to get the lines tight, and it was broken. The nose is broken off, the tail is broken off, and the wing is broken in half. The only thing left, it looks like, in one piece is the empennage, and so that was a quick thrill, because he maidened it last summer, in late July 20th, 21st, somewhere around there, I think, and now it's gone. That was a shame. He built a Profile Oriental also about the same time. I think it was after that with or maybe it was after that with the same color scheme, but he still got the Oriental. He flies it in Profile. But yeah, I didn't know if y'all were familiar with that.
Tell him to get one of the new Brodak SV11s. Everything will pop right in there, and get
He builds from scratch.
That's the plane he's going to, is the SV11. He's got two of them.
Don builds from scratch.
Or does he? But he needs to break in that engine to get all the power and all that kind of stuff out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to Rich Oliver. His is the first 67 ever made. It's 10 years old, and it's still flying. And I got a Rojet 76 that I got to cut compression on, because when it gets hot, when we were down there in Texas, I primed it and was back flipping it, and that damn thing started without a glow driver on it.
Wow.
I've heard of it happening, but I've never actually.
I wasn't being careful with my hands in the prop, because I was just back flipping it.
Yeah, of course, right.
It nailed me so hard, and I yelled, and then when it nailed me, it made the engine run backwards.
Damn.
Huh.
So then I had a hell of a time. It burnt my hand, because I took, like I did on RCs when they're idling it, and would bump it to try to change it over. And it said, and it got hot. So I just reached down and grabbed it, pinched it, and stopped it, and then started it the other way.
What was the air temperature that day?
80 something degrees.
I've heard Foxes will do that more than any other that I've heard about. But yeah, I've never experienced that happening in real life.
The only other one was my OPS 40, and that damn thing but that's RC, but that was at an idle, and I was basically got done with a flight, and I primed it, and I flipped it through, and I told my brother, I said, God, I swear to God, this thing bumped, and he's like, no. I did it one more time, and it said, ring. Just started running.
Not igniter.
Without an igniter on it.
How much nitro was in that fuel? Do you know?
10%.
Oh.
It was only 10%, but that was another day when it was 90 degrees here in Michigan, and And
I
a diesel.
reckon it's got to be hot weather.
I probably had it a little flooded.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's why when I even attach my igniter to my stalker, I hold the prop with one
Oh,
hand.
me too. I always hold the prop when I clip the igniter on.
You know, you have some combustion, you know?
Absolutely.
And I had that on that 76, you know, because I'll pick it up because it's pointing down and put the thing on there. And I watched, and a couple times I've seen the prop move. And I'm like, wow.
There's a video that I've watched a bunch of times of a guy practicing. He's European, so I couldn't hear what they were talking about, or I couldn't understand what they were talking about. But Powline racer, and he put the electric starter on the spinner and gave it a spin to get it primed up, and then he had a switch on his glow igniter to turn it on and off. It was already hooked to the head, and he turned it till it was sitting on compression, and then clicked on the switch, and the plane started.
Oh shit!
It's like he knew it was going to happen, so he knew the right amount to spin it and where to set the prop, but it just clicked right up and roared when he clicked on the switch.
Wow. Yeah, you never know. That's why I just be careful.
Yeah, I do, like you were saying, Charles, though. I do hold the prop when I connect my igniter.
Yeah, you just never know.
Hey, guys, you know what time it is?
I got to get up at 5 to leave for Chicago in the morning, so I know what time it is.
Wow.
Get you some coffee.
I'm fucking like head popping over here.
Well, yeah, you build a whole nother airplane in 4 days. Shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Got to keep on trucking.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and thanks for coming. And that applies to you YouTube viewers too. We still got about 3 people watching on YouTube, so thanks all of y'all. The YouTube side, we appreciate y'all watching and commenting. We try to work your comments into our conversations, and if you see that $sign at the bottom of the chat box, if y'all would click on that, we really appreciate it. That helps us, Sparky keep the equipment going, and everybody on the video side, thanks. We'll see y'all back next week, and until then, fair lines, no. Fair wind, tight lines. See ya. All right. Y'all take it.
All right. See you guys.
See you Monday.
All right. See you Monday.
Good night.
Good night.
Signing off in 3, 2, 1. Boom.